this show, we love to share design inspiration with all of you, and often that can be found in hotels, restaurants, or in this case, a winery.
Hi, welcome to A Love Story Winery and Bistro. My name is Elisa Barbato and I am the wine club director here. This whole place is so big and we had so many white walls, and of course we can paint them, but what is even better than just putting wine displays? My favorite wine displays in the restaurant are the ones in the cellar. We have old world wines and we have new world wines.
Sample some fine wine design ideas on today's SoFlo Home Project. Welcome to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra. Today we're talking about wine and design. Whether you're a wine lover or not, adding a wine feature to your home can elevate your decor as well as add some increased value. Today we're going to uncork some wine wall decor ideas for any size home, give advice on wine storage and refrigeration, share inspirational home wine cellar designs, and so much more. So we are here today at A Love Story in South Miami. Elisa, welcome to SoFlo Home Project.
Thank you so much for having us. It's truly an honor.
So we are excited to be here. We've been wanting to do an episode about wine by design, bringing wine into your home. So we thought here would be a great space. You've got a lot of beautiful sort of wine installations and rooms that all have a lot of different inspiration for wine. So tell us a little bit about the backstory of the restaurant itself.
So basically, when we first saw this property, I mean, we've had our eye on it for probably my whole entire life. My godparents actually own it. And when we saw it was up for grabs, we were like, you know what, this would be a great opportunity to have for events. That's kind of what we do. We host events. So we decided to do events and have a restaurant, and why not have a winery? And honestly, I think everything in sense of like the textures, the ceilings, the floors, you know, there's been things that we've redone, but it had so much heart and feel that it was just perfect to turn into like a winery.
I love that you brought everything together. When you look throughout the space, it's really nice because you've got, much like a home, beautiful outdoor entertaining spaces, indoor, private room, and of course these accent walls like this wine wall behind us, which I love, and again, serves as inspiration of things that we bring into homes every day.
I love it. Honestly, these were one of the most important things that we wanted to do, to be able to incorporate that touch for not people just to be able to drink the wine, but to be able to see it. And this is just one of the displays that we have here, which is in our private VIP room. Every single area throughout the restaurant has a different feel. I'm like, well, do you want a cozier vibe? Do you want to be more where there's more people? Do you want more pink? Do you want more wine? Do you want more of an outside, you know, just more relaxed feel? We wanted to give everybody the opportunity to kind of come and feel, you know, the way that they want to, depending on if they're on a date, if they're with their family, if they're with their daughter, son, you know, it doesn't matter, but we wanted everyone to be able to relive that love story in each and every place.
I love you mentioned pink. We definitely see a theme throughout the restaurant as we walk through. Of course, even this behind us, I know the lights do change color because we kind of saw the different cycle of lights. So it could be bright pink, it could be a soft pink.
Well, we've actually hosted stuff for men too, so that maybe not so much pink. We're like, not a problem, we'll put it blue, we'll put it green.
Well, that's the beauty of that, right? And much like in the home, we always try to relate like where you gain inspiration. You're dining out here, you see that, say, I'd love to have some colorful lighting in my wine storage at home. They're definitely creating that ambiance. Now the cherry blossoms, I can't ignore them because as you walk through there, they're sort of part of the story, part of the design story here, even on your hat.
Thank you.
Which I love. Where did that come about?
So we have them throughout the entire restaurant, indoor and outdoor. And I think before we had any furniture in here, we had trees. So definitely that was the one thing that kind of brought everything together. And then you'll see like even on the dishes, like, you know, the little petals and all that stuff. So it kind of shows off that love and that beginning start. And I don't think we'll ever get rid of the cherry blossoms.
No, I love it. It seems like it's the brand here.
Definitely.
But The wine wall, I feel like that's been something that we have just been seeing. How important was it to have these throughout the restaurant?
So we wanted to make sure that we had different kind of displays and different kind of storing for our wines. Some wines are kind of used more, so you'll see those are the wines that we have in the displays that are more on the standing upright, just because they're being moved more, because you always want, you know, the wine to be touching the corks. That way it stays as best as possible. But these wines, for example, they're laid, they're in perfect temperature. We want to make sure that we keep it at the perfect temperature for everyone to consume and to be able to enjoy.
I'm glad you mentioned the refrigeration as well. Often in the home, we might build a lot of these where we don't have the refrigeration because it's a cost
Yes.
thing, it's a planning thing, and it's a lot of other additional things. In the restaurant atmosphere, knowing that it's refrigerated is awesome.
It's hard sometimes to try to maintain, you know, the humidity sometimes, you know, the correct temperature. So just like in our kitchens, just like in our walk-in freezers and fridges for everything else, we have to make sure that the temperature is always on point so
Yes.
that, you know, they can last as long as possible and, you know, it doesn't get messed up.
Coming up, cool ways to keep your wine chilled on SoFlo Home Project.
Hi, I'm Mike Rednauer, Vice President of Sales for USA Windows and Doors. I've been in the construction world for over 30 years. I've seen all the companies come and go, and I can tell you what separates USA Windows and Doors from the competition is that we have our own dedicated service department that after installation, if anything happens, we're there to take care of your needs with no additional cost out of your pocket, no headaches, no questions. We'll come and we'll take care of it for you. Some of the most common issues you see on the service side of the industry are glass breakage, accidental glass breakage. If something were to happen, we'll come out and fix it for free. Also, if your landscaper is cutting your grass or he's weed eating and he throws a rock up and it tears your screen, we'll come out and replace the screen absolutely free. Some of the other common issues that happen after installation. Maybe the locking mechanism isn't smooth. Maybe the rollers underneath the sliding glass door or the horizontal roller don't slide properly. Guess what? Our service department will come out and take care of that at no additional cost to you. So our double lifetime warranty will take care of any issues that you have, whether it's Mother Nature or it's an accidental glass breakage. We'll take care of it for free. At USA Windows and Doors, we stand behind our product and we stand behind our installation. With our double lifetime warranty, you can rest assured you can have a peace of mind that USA Windows and Doors is the company for you. Give us a call today.
Come join our family.
Welcome back to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra, and we are continuing our day here talking about all things wine and design at A Love Story Winery and Bistro with Elisa Barbato. Elisa, so this has been so much fun. I love touring the restaurant and getting design inspiration here.
We absolutely have loved having you here, and honestly it takes me back to how we all started and all the ideas that came together to make it so special and to make it so cozy for everyone.
Yeah, every corner you turn here is sort of a different ambiance and kind of experience to enjoy. So I can imagine that patrons of the restaurant are just kind of like encapsulated in that.
I love that you say that because that's precisely what we were going for.
And wine kind of drives that whole design, right?
Absolutely. That's the one thing that will go throughout the entire place. You can't miss the wine.
So behind us, we have another kind of wine refrigeration unit that really is ambiance as well in this restaurant.
Definitely. One of my favorites, honestly, we have different kind of shelving in here so that you can see some are standing tall, some are still laying at an angle. Basically, these wines, we try to put them in a way that you can kind of distinguish them, but still keep them at the right temperature so that the wine can, you know, last longer, and so that when you do go to open up a bottle, you can enjoy every last bit.
Absolutely. And I do love the shelving. We talk about those design features and the details that we've seen in here. It's like the kind of brush gold has been such a big trend in home design, and I love seeing it in this refrigeration area. Sometimes we'll see that it is not refrigerated and you have just a nice beautiful display of the bottles. I think that's another way to store it.
Absolutely, but definitely we try to keep those older bottles, more in that
Specialty
refrigerated
stuff.
space. And then, for example, with some red wines, they don't have to be refrigerated all the time, but they do have to be at a cool temperature to be at the right temperature to drink, because if not, it can ruin the wine.
I love the look of wine on a wall, whether it's in decorative racking or some sort of decorative structure, and I love the way lighting can enhance the look of wine in the decor itself. So not just in the ambiance of the restaurant, but in the actual wine refrigeration units too.
Well, if you take a look, we actually can change it up, and not just the back, also the front.
Love it.
Here you have that kind of look, more of the bluish, but definitely try to make it to match, if we have any special events happening or any theme during Christmas, Valentine's Day.
Absolutely. I think the lighting is half of it. It's like you want to be able to store the wine properly, have enough proper storage amount for what you're going to be putting in there, but having that ability to tune in any color, I think really adds that ambiance. Well, I think this is great. Now, if you are looking for something of smaller size and everyone at home is thinking, how can I store the wine? I always love to kind of split it. We have seen a lot of kind of wall-mounted structures here where you have the wine decoratively displayed in beautiful kind of metal structures, which are so pretty. And then if you need to chill it and you're not going to build a larger structure, under the countertop units that are very small, 24 inches wide, just kind of fit right in. You could do a smaller countertop unit as well, or the big tall units. There's so many options, and I am looking forward to continuing to tour through here and talk more about wine and design, so stay with us.
Let's do it.
Coming up next, elevate your design palette in an underground wine cellar on SoFlo Home Project.
SoFlo Home Project is sponsored in part by Eldorado Furniture. Looking to refresh your home? Visit us online at EldoradoFurniture.com or a showroom near you.
And we are here today with Susan Manning of All American Roofing to find out a little bit more about how All American Roofing helps homeowners, what you do, and how you're using the latest technology.
So, although I'm old school, as you may know, and I write everything down, we do have a lot of technology here at All American Roofing. We now measure the roofs by satellite. We started in 2018 doing this, and it really has helped us a lot. We're able to provide estimates a lot quicker to the homeowners. They're not waiting for us to schedule for a man to come out there and hand measure the roof. So what we do is we measure the roof by satellite. We put the squares of the roof, that's how big the roof is, into the computer, and it spits out the price. And this way everybody gets a fair, same price. We also use drone now. We're doing a very, very large complex in Coral Springs right now, and we're able to show the board members and the property managers what the roof looks like.
There's a lot of incentives and programs out there, and I wanted to speak a little bit more about some of the newest and current and ongoing ones.
So currently there's the My Safe Florida Home program. The state of Florida is giving grants to people for up to $10,000, and it's free. You don't have to pay it back. If you put a new roof on or new windows, they will give you up to $10,000 back.
Wow, that's a great program right there.
There's also the PACE program, but this is a loan. You have to
So
pay
we have
back.
grants and we have loans.
Exactly.
How do homeowners reach you should they have questions on any of the things we spoke about today, or just replacing or repairing the roof in general?
They can call us at 954-772-7663 or reach us on the web at allamericanroof.com.
Thanks again. It's always a pleasure.
Pleasure here as well.
Welcome back to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra. And we are here at A Love Story Winery and Bistro with Elisa Barbato. Elisa, so this has been awesome because we are now actually in the wine cellar. We are downstairs in an actual cellar, surrounded by wine.
Yes, so this is a completely different feel and aspect, I feel like, than everything else upstairs. This is a lot more serious. The tones are very different. You don't see a lot of pink unless, of course, you want it, and then we can play with the lights a bit. You're kind of like in the mood right now. I love it. You got the wine look going. So that's what we wanted people to feel when they came down here, where you have wine, you have the very cellar feel, and changes the vibes a bit.
No, absolutely. It's about creating an experience, whether in a restaurant, a winery, or your own home. It's that ambiance of, you know, enjoying the wine, relaxing, celebrating, being with friends, family, just having a good time. And this is not something you see every day in South Florida. The ability to create an underground wine cellar.
Are we really underground? Yes, we actually are underground. You get a stairwell that goes straight to the parking lot, or you can take the elevator.
Well, I love it. And speaking of like cool wine spaces, we have toured a lot on this show, some really amazing wine cellars. If you're a lover of wine and you have the ability to go all out, there are so many different things you can do to really create and enjoy that experience, much like what you did here.
So down here is actually where we do our wine tastings. That's the #1 thing that we actually host every single Wednesday, and it's been a crowd favorite. We set up a royal table with 6 different wine glasses, 6 wines, and you really get that feel by your sommelier to, you know, explain everything to you. It's just a different event altogether, and it definitely goes with the aesthetic of this room and the aesthetic of the area that you're really in. And hopefully you guys can get enough inspiration from here.
So it's all about the way you put it together and all of those things, and of course, the wine.
That's the best part.
And speaking of wine, we're actually going to get a chance to try out the tasting room here and learn a little bit more about wine and design. So stay tuned. Next, we have more wine design ideas for your home on SoFlo Home Project. Welcome back to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra, and we are on the last stop of our fun day here at A Love Story Winery and Bistro, joined by Elisa Barbato. We've been talking wine and design all day, but now we're going to get to experience and learn a little bit about the wine and the wine tastings you do here.
Definitely, you can't come to A Love Story and talk about wines and not actually try it. So we kind of did a little setup how we normally do for our wine tastings. You have 6 different glasses, and actually on the sheet we actually give an opportunity for everyone to judge the wines as they go. So at the end of it, our sommelier actually reads all the notes, and if anybody has any questions, they usually just, you know, ask them at that point.
That is awesome. I love it. I love learning new things, and for me, this is going to be a great wine experience.
Perfect. So actually, we have one of our managers and our in-house sommelier here today. Wonderful. So here we have Nelson Suarez.
Hi, Nelson.
So he's actually bringing us one of our bottles that are made in Chile, a Cabernet Sauvignon, and he's gonna go ahead and pour it for us. I feel like most people are big fans of the Cabernets, so we'll have an opportunity to kind of get a feel for it now. He's gonna pour for me, and just so you know, once he does pour, you take a look at the cork, you make sure that it's all right. You just check that, just shows you that it's not broken, there's no particles in the wine. So then the fun part begins.
That's right.
And actually, you swirl it so it can get some more air.
And I noticed the way you're holding it before the tasting, it's lower. So we're not holding up here.
No, because that changes the temperature of the wine. So you never want to do that. And really, if you want to get fancy, you do one of these.
Ah.
So then,
learning all the tricks here.
Smell it. And then you let him know to go ahead. And now he'll pour some for you.
All right, looks good. I went with the total wine camouflage today. I'm matching
the
wine.
You've got it covered.
All right, now I'm not going to grab here because I've learned.
There you go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you, Nelson.
You can really get a taste if you kind of swirl it in your mouth. You'll feel almost like all the different grapes, which is something that we tried to create also with our bottles and our label.
Love the label. So
we
it
actually
matches
have-
all the decor.
We have the vines, we have everything going, but we couldn't let out the heart part. So the love is incorporated in every single ounce of it, that's for sure.
Well, this is delicious. We're talking about wine, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention furniture because it is SoFlo Home Project. So I love this banquette, this Bordeaux. I've dressed to match it. We're going with the whole wine theme.
So definitely that's what we were going for, so I'm glad you noticed that. But definitely the velvet feel is very different, again, from what we have everywhere else. So we wanted to make the cellar very special, very romantic.
It brings that richness to what feels like a wine tasting experience. Yes, it all, and a perfect match.
Oh,
with that,
perfect.
right?
You're a perfect match.
Got it all color coordinated here. And also I wanted to give our audience a little bit more inspiration when it comes to like wine. We've seen the refrigeration, we've seen the wine wall. Sometimes we conceal the wine too, and in our own homes it might be a bar that's more of an armoire piece that opens and there's a wine by surprise and, and perhaps maybe even a bar cart, which you've even had in some of the upstairs areas in the wine wall display.
We have different ones, yeah. Some are hidden gems. So,
yes. Well, this has truly been an amazing experience. So I want to thank you. We talk about it being a love story, Winery and Bistro, but you could tell all of the details in here have truly been a labor of love.
honestly, that means the world to us to know that everyone is noticing that, because we have put so much energy, so much, effort and the love that we've put in our hearts and our souls. So we appreciate that you guys are here to be able to capture all of that and to find out a little bit more of how this all came about.
Well, this has been so much fun, and now we are going to enjoy delicious wine.
Absolutely.
So on that note, great wine and design, this concludes our episode, and we hope to keep you inspired with all things home design next week. So take a peek at what we've got for you. Next week on SoFlo Home Project, selecting the right hard surfaces could be a great way to give your home a chic new look. We tour an elegant condo that has been updated with striking stone slabs. And to our viewers, I want to thank you for joining us this week and hope you enjoyed wine and design. And don't forget to tune in next week for another all-new episode of SoFlo Home Project right here on Local 10. And remember, there's no place like SoFlo Home. If you missed any part of this episode, or if you're looking for more design inspiration, make sure to check out all episodes online at SoFloShows.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media on Facebook and Instagram.